travel professionals. It's Bonnie Lee here, and I am at beautiful Sanctuary Capcana by Playa Hotels. And isn't it odd that I found Gina from Playa Hotels
Just wander around the property.
just looking for somebody to talk to. So, and she happens to be the destination wedding person for Playa. How many years have I known you?
At least 15, 16 years, I think. I think you guys were on my very first fam that I did. So a lot of, in this industry,
That's
a long time. Is,
a long time is 6 months.
yeah, that's true.
The only thing we know in travel is that nothing is the same today as yesterday. So the whole point there is that the consistency that you can get from Playa and the destination weddings and all your questions and what you need is here's the consistency right here. You've got the same woman all the time. So I was on Gina's very first destination wedding fam, and we were in Playa del Carmen.
Yeah.
And I kept myself up on it, but I know I'm like maybe several versions back. We're not going to say how many, but more than one. So
We'll bring you up to speed.
She's going to bring me up to speed. She's going to bring everyone listening up to speed as well on how to become a destination wedding specialist with Playa and all cool things. So, take it away.
Well, I think the thing I want to start with first is that to be able to be invited on our wedding fams and to get all the most current information on weddings, what your agents need to do is they need to go to agentcashplus.com and they need to sign up as a Playa agent. Once you're in there, on the tabs, it'll say groups and weddings. You just click on that, it'll have a drop-down list. Click on Playa Wedding Agent. It's a simple electronic form that they fill out. It's super easy to do. They submit it, and then they're in my world, right? They're in my realm, they're on my list, and they'll get all my correspondence. So all the latest information on weddings, they'll get the invites for the fams. And then there's also a training course in there for Playa. It's for all the Playa properties, but it also addresses weddings. So I would encourage you to do that as well, your agents to do that.
And I'll just interrupt just one quick second. So for Travel Quest agents, if you didn't get the web address, she said just go into the portal, go to the Rolodex, look at Playa, and you'll have that. But for those of agents who are listening who aren't with Travel Quest, will you just say that address one more time? Because I'm sure someone's going to have to back this video up to write that down.
agentcashplus.com. I hope I'm saying that right because we just changed it.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, she and I are going to double check that. And then after this, we'll plug in something down below, and we'll type it in just in case.
Just to make sure.
Just to make sure.
My old brain, as my kids say, I have an old brain.
I always go validate that what you believe is true is really true. So we're going to do some validating later on. So we've got that so they can go right in there and do all of those things.
Yeah, and that site, there's a lot of other things in that site, not necessarily that have to do with weddings, but I do want to talk about it. Because with the Agent Cash program, you go in and you register all of your bookings, and you can get cash, and now you can choose between cash or free nights. So it's a great thing.
You can be here like me.
It's an extra bonus for you for supporting and selling Playa Resorts.
And the nice part is it's a choice.
Yeah, you can choose either or.
It's what you would like.
And then your clients, as long as you register them at least 2 weeks prior to their departure, not only do your agents get the Agent Cash or free nights, but their client gets an amenity in their suite, courtesy of that agent. So it's just a little bonus, a little perk, and the agents don't have to do anything to get that. I mean, they just go in and register.
Can I ask you something? Because I think it's going through my mind, so potentially it's going through one other person's mind. So when the perk is put in the agent's or the client's room, and it's by the agent, is that specific then to my specific login? Mine is Bonnie Lee. It's not Travel Quest. It's Bonnie Lee. So that amenity comes from Bonnie Lee.
Yes.
Because I'm me.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because I think a lot of times
You're you.
If people are independent contractors, that's the biggest question. They don't want it coming from, Travel Quest, Bonnie Lee. They want it coming from their name. So that's really cool. And how many days prior?
I would do a minimum of 2 weeks prior.
Okay.
If you do it within 2 weeks, they still try to do it, but it's not guaranteed. And then also by registering your room nights, because we're here for our Spotlight Awards, which are our top producers. And if you register your room nights, that's how we determine who gets to attend Spotlight. So register the room nights.
That's specific to the agent, not the agency, so it's not specific to the agency you're with or to Travel Quest. It's to the agent
Yes.
down here. So if you are booking Playa and you are not registering, you're totally missing out. So get that done. Just best practice, as soon as you make a booking, register it. And if you aren't booking Playa, you are way more than missing out. So
It's some great product.
do get that done. Now, to destination weddings, how easy / hard is it to look for times? Like what's
Super
available?
easy. So let me start this by saying I was an agent for 18 years prior to working for the hotel side of it. So everything that we've done is from an agent perspective. How can we make it easy? How can we make it simple? So the first thing is that we have our new wedding websites, and those links to the websites can also be found on the agent site under Destination Weddings. So they just click on it, they scroll, and we have a website for each brand. Now, all of the sites function the same, they're just branded differently. So let's say that you're going into Sanctuary, and you would click on that link, and it would take you to a whole wedding website. That within that website, you can look at packages, you can look at enhancements, you can look at additional guest pricing, and the best thing is that there's a calendar that pops up. And as you take your cursor over each date, it'll show you what times are available.
Oh, great.
So then what you do is you just click on the date and time that your client wants, and it'll bring up a request page. On that request page, you just fill out the client information and pay special attention to where it says, are you an agent? You click yes, and you put all of the information. Put in the information of where the check needs to go. So with your agents, does it all process
It processes through headquarters, our headquarters meaning us. Oh, I'm headquarters.
Your
I'm
headquarters, your headquarters.
And filters down to them.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what you would do is you would put in your IATA and their address, and then the great thing is that wedding, once it's confirmed, is now tagged with your information. So you will automatically receive commission on that wedding package. You can call the hotels. We have toll-free numbers for all of the hotels, but I prefer this method because it gives the client, or not the client, but it gives the agent control of that request, right? So we know that all the information is going to be accurate, the commission payment will be accurate.
You can do it whenever you want.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and if you're sitting with a client at 9 o'clock on a Friday where maybe the wedding department's not open, you can request it then.
I'm going to say, Gina, honestly, in years past, what I really booked when I was an agent, and I did a lot of destination weddings, if there was a reason that I actually lost a wedding, that was the reason. The reason would have been because I could not confirm the date and the time, like Johnny on the spot or Bonnie on the spot. I like that. So I can see like all of the enhancements. That's a gigantic enhancement.
Well, and what happens is that request then drops into the hotel, and they respond within 24 hours during the week, and maybe 48 hours over the weekend, just because that's when we execute the majority of our weddings and that. So 24 to 48 hours, that's a realistic expectation. And sometimes if it's midweek, they're responding within hours.
Okay,
so and sometimes if you're really desperate, because I've been as an agent in that position where you need to know right then, pick up the phone, call the hotel. Hey, this is Gina with X agency. Is this date, time, and venue available? Why, yes, it is. Okay, great. I'm going to request it through the site. Please expect the request.
Oh, perfect.
So it expedites it a little bit.
You can move it along if you need to move it along. And we all need help looking really, really good. I can't say how important it is. You know, and I know, and you guys all know how important it is that each one of us makes the other one look good.
Absolutely.
So all of these opportunities that you guys have are fabulous.
Well, and beyond that, I'm sorry, Bonnie.
No, go
I
ahead,
get so
go
excited,
ahead.
I just
I
start
know.
talking. The other thing is that once the booking, once the request is confirmed, then your clients, when you're signing up originally, you're going to create a username and password for your clients. Once it's confirmed, you can give your clients that username and password, and everything's going to be done on their wedding dashboard. So now the client can log into their own wedding dashboard that shows their wedding, their cocktail, the reception, where it's confirmed and what time. And the funnest part is, because we all know that most of our couples are millennials, and millennials live online. So now they can go in and they can look at all of our enhancements. They can look at DJs, photography,
Oh,
videography,
so much better. So
decor,
are they
everything.
able to book what
Yeah.
they want like
So
straight away?
it's like a shopping cart. So they start pulling in all the items into their shopping cart. Now, that may change, but it's the exciting part of
Yeah.
planning a wedding, right? Like
Yeah.
looking at your tables and your linens and your decor, and I want this DJ, and I want the photo and videography. So it allows the client to start planning. Now they're also going to be assigned a wedding coordinator, and that wedding coordinator is there to assist them with everything also. So they're not left to their own devices. And if they want something custom, we can
That's
absolutely
just
do
what
that.
I was going to ask you, because some wedding couples might be on Pinterest. Who knows? I'm sure there's a million other sites, but I'm kind of a Pinterest junkie.
Yeah, me too.
Find something that they like. They can take a picture, then whatever it is, send it off, and you're not just stuck to the drop.
Yeah.
Red tablecloth
In
with
fact,
white background.
we have a section in the dashboard where they can upload their Pinterest photos.
Oh,
So they don't even have to email them, they just upload them, and then our wedding coordinator can see them and work with our vendors to create that design or concept or whatever the clients want. So we really want to make the client's dream wedding come true, and that's really the focus. So, we have 3 wedding packages, and they're the same through all of our brands,
Okay.
which makes it easy. So once you know the packages, you're going to know it for the Hyatts, for the Hiltons, for the Panama Jacks, for Sanctuary. You're going to know it for all of our properties. The only thing that varies is the pricing, and that can be found on the website. So with those packages, they're really there to be a beginning, right? And they're priced at a point where clients can then say, okay, this fits in my budget, and I can then go in and add everything else that I want to my wedding.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, I had this question. All right. So, when you look at your different brands, a lot of times brides want to know, or grooms, or wedding couples, whatever it may be, are interested in knowing how many weddings are going to happen that day. Is it going to be just our special day, or are we going to be sharing that? Is that information? Well, I would guess obviously it's going to be easily available if you go to the calendar and you click down and you would see how many times. But can you roughly give us an idea of the different
So
brands?
most of our hotels have 3 time slots per day. So we have morning, which is 9 to 1, afternoon, which is 1 to 4, and then we have evening, which is 4 and later. So the way that we manage it is, let's say that we have a really big wedding on a Friday night that's like 120 people. We know that that's going to take a lot of time and effort, so we won't do a wedding in the afternoon. We'll go ahead and block that afternoon slot, and then maybe we'll do a smaller wedding in the morning. So we really try to be cognizant that this is their special day. We don't want people, lined up at the gazebo ready to get married, right? We're not a Vegas wedding chapel, and that's great for some people. I'm not knocking that, but we want a more personalized experience.
Yeah.
So we really manage that and make sure that we're giving the clients what they need.
Perfect. So now I'm an agent and I really want to get trained. I've gone in there into the wedding site, I've read things, and I'm really excited. Do you guys have training beyond that around the country, like just making wedding trainings? And I don't know the answer, so you might be saying to me, Bonnie, no, that's it, they got to train there. So it's just because I really don't know. How do we learn more if people want that hands-on
Well,
stuff?
what they can do is they can either reach out to me. My email address is gina.johnson@playaresorts.com.
We'll put that in too.
Or you can
the portal
contact
has
Bonnie.
it for ours, yes.
Somebody has it.
Somebody's got
You
it.
can reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to do small groups of webinars. We can do webinars for you guys. And I'm also willing to do one-on-one. I love one-on-ones because it really allows the agent to ask me the questions that they don't know. And really, if an agent has done a group before, they can do a wedding.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is they're bringing the wedding to us, and then our team is doing all the planning, so they don't have to worry about all of that. And I know that's what most people get anxious about is I don't know everything. You don't have to know everything because you just book the date, and then we take care of the rest.
And really, the opportunity for all of us as travel professionals is to be the cushion to that wedding couple. If they have questions, you're the person you're the glue that's kind of holding everything together. It doesn't mean you're all the pieces.
Yes.
You're just the glue. If something is working perfectly and they've got the Pinterest, you're the excited person. You're happy. if they have the Pinterest and they can't get the thing loaded, you're the person that's going to help as well. But having a strong wedding partner on the back is important, and to know that there is an actual physical wedding coordinator that we could have a conversation with if our wedding couple is having a problem. All of that is there.
And I usually recommend when you're creating that username and password for your couple, hold on to that, because then you can log into their dashboard and see what's going on with it. You know, you can see what they've added to their cart. You can, and all payments can be made through there too.
Could an agent or do agents make one that's like a trial for them to go in, or do you have an opportunity for us to go in and just see what's there before
Yes,
we
you know
get
what
it?
I'll do is I will make a dummy site.
Oh, cool.
I shouldn't use that word. A sample site for
She's gonna
travel
make a sample site.
A sample site. I'm going to create a sample site for Travel Quest.
Okay,
I'll send you
perfect.
the username and password and the link to it, so that all of your agents can go in and play around with it. They can't miss anything else. So
No, you can't mess it up, but you can really, that way you can feel very, very confident when you're having a conversation with that couple.
Yeah.
Very confident. You know where the drop down is. You know what's in there, and obviously things change all the time, but that's very cool. So now you have all these brands. Which brands do you guys have for your weddings? Can you just go over that real quickly? And is there a specific wedding couple that migrates to a specific brand under Playa, or are you going to say they're just all over?
I think that for the couples that are really cognizant maybe of what they're, depending on who their guests are going to be.
True. Yeah.
So let's say that they don't want to go to a higher price point. I think the Panama Jacks are really popular right now because the price point on them is great, and the Panama Jacks are fantastic for weddings. They really do a great job. And that's Panama Jack Cancun and Panama Jack Playa del Carmen. And since the remodel on those properties, I love them. I mean, I call them beach chic. I mean, the decor in them is amazing.
I gotta write that down.
And the restaurants are fantastic. I mean, they really, for the price point, your clients are going to be ecstatic. I mean, it's going to be one of those ones that are like, it's better than I
And the
even
location
expected.
is
Oh
crazy.
yeah. The locations are fantastic.
absolutely beautiful. So that's the Panama Jacks. There's
Panama
one up in
Jacks.
Cancun and one down in Playa.
And then the Hyatt Zivas and Zalaras, they're extremely hot right now. They're very popular. We've got the Hyatt Ziva Cancun, the Hyatt Zalara Cancun. We've got the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos, Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, Hyatt Ziva Zalara Montego Bay. I'm trying to make sure I remember them all. And then soon we'll be opening up right down the beach from here, the Hyatt Ziva Zalara in Cap Cana. So two very distinct properties. Super excited about that. I think that it's going to be amazing for
So
weddings.
that's going to open the end of this year, and we're in 2019. When can people start booking weddings into that?
They
If they
can-
had a guest interested.
They can start booking it now. The only thing is I have a calendar, but I don't know the venues yet. We're still selecting where the venues are going to be, and I don't have the enhancements, but I'm hoping to have that in the next month. But we already have people saving dates.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it, Walt and I celebrated or renewed our vows at the Hyatt Zalara in Montego Bay.
Yes.
It was a surprise from her while we were there with the wedding band, which was crazy.
Surprise!
But the coolest thing that I remember from that is I said to Gina, this is my favorite gazebo we're walking up because it juts out into the water, and it had everything that Bonnie we were planning it. That's what I would have planned. And when I was talking weddings to clients, I knew every single gazebo on every single property, and I could talk about it. And I knew those things not because I'd been there, walked to the beach and done everything, but because I didn't travel that much, but because I had actually read everything. So if you're at home and you're thinking, wow, this is really kind of cool, but I wouldn't be able to talk that way, you really can. You just have to look at the wedding venues. And I'm going to guess
Research
you got
is key.
You've got great photos within there.
We do, and we're getting ready to update them. We've just spent the last couple months getting new photography of all of the venues. And we try to make sure that we have a venue for every type of couple. I shouldn't say just bride because it's not just the bride, but every couple. It's every couple. Because some couples want to have their toes in the sand, right? And that's perfect because we have beautiful beaches at every location. But then you have the couple that you know, the girl wants to wear her beautiful high-heeled shoes and she doesn't want to be on the sand.
Yes.
But she wants to be right next
On
to
the
the
water,
sand.
which is
Right.
the gazebo I was in. And I am going to find that video. I know it's up on our YouTube channel. I'll find it and I'll plug it in here so if you want to kind of get an idea of what a vow renewal, you are not promoting vow renewals to the moms and the dads who are going along with their kids getting married, kids are getting married. Oh, you're missing the whole. So we'll make that another video another day.
Yeah.
But anything, did I miss anything?
I'm trying to think. I think we covered it all.
We'll put all the contact
Yeah.
information in there so
Yeah.
people will certainly have that.
So the one thing I would stress is the two things I would stress. Make sure that you're reporting your bookings through the agent site. Bless you. Bless you.
Probably blew the mic out.
And then number two, make sure that with your weddings you're requesting them online. Like I said, to me it's very important that you get paid commission on the weddings that you bring us. And if you do it online, you are making sure that the address and everything else is correct, because then that way, once the wedding takes place, that information is extracted, sent to accounting, and the commission check is automatically sent out to the agent.
So educate and register and get the wedding booked online. And we will make sure that we've got some really good wedding opportunities. And I'm going to say, I mean, you guys have always been a strong supporter of Travel Quest World. Every single year, Playa is there. Same thing is going to hold through September of this next year. So again, you can do your education now, and then in September, you'll be able to meet the lovely Miss Gina. So, hey, you guys, I hope you have a really great day. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Punta Cana, and the beaches are magnificent.
I think we should go hit the pool.
Hey, awesome. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers. Thanks, Bonnie and Walt.